and blessings. Happy Mother's Day. It's May 10th, 2020, and Sundays are my day off, so I wanted to make a video. I wanted to do questions 8 through 14 of the 31 Days of Witchcraft tag created by Heather Carter. And I'm going to try to link the original video as well to this video like I did to the other one. I have a playlist also, so if you guys want to follow or watch my previous response, because I did days 1 through 7, so I'm gonna do it on a weekly basis and things of that nature, because I wanted to offer like a different perspective and things like that. I'm drinking today a nice pumpkin spice, and I wanted to just say happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all mommies. Whether you're a married mommy, a single mommy, whether you're adopted mother, auntie, there's a mother figure, you know what I mean, grandmas, they're raising their grandchildren, whatever type of caretaker mother figure you are, happy Mother's Day, because, you know, there's many different types of family. And to any dads out there who are single dads and they're both mother and father, you know, to a child, happy Mother's Day. So basically, happy Mother's Day. Okay, I had a great day with my children. I got to eat breakfast in bed and I got to relax today. I didn't do any readings for myself, anything tarot related or anything like that. I am planning to catch up on my favorite channels and my channels that I'm subscribed to, because I'm subscribed to your favorite channel. I'm planning to catch up to you guys' videos and things like that. I've just been crazy busy, but I'm not complaining. But I thought I would take some time out on my day off and make this video. Today I just even took a break from YouTube. I was just relaxed and enjoying my Mother's Day, like I said. So I got this from a client the other day. It's a Haitian recipe book, because my client knows I love to cook. And yeah, so she gave me a book from Haitian cuisine, because she knows how much I love Haiti and my mother's Haitian roots and all that stuff. I love my Puerto Rican roots. I have books on Puerto Rican cookery and all that kind of stuff. So I love recipe books because I love cooking. So yeah, and I like buying recipe books because even though if I know how to make something, I still like to know other people's recipes and things, because I feel like, you know, I don't care how much of a good cook you are, it's always nice to learn a new dish or something like that. So I got the book, I looked through it, lots of yummy things. So I'm going to use this book too to make some of, I'm planning to do a fete for the spirits, so I'm going to be using some of those recipes for that too, for a party that I want to host for the spirits. But enough of that situation. I wanted to talk to you guys today, like I said. Well, not talk to you guys. Make this 31 Days of Witchcraft video. Like I said, I'm drinking my pumpkin spice. I'm just in that kind of mood. I love autumn, and I want to go back to that autumny time when the world was a different place, you know. Yeah. I kind of miss that time. Anyway, so 31 Days of Witchcraft, question 8. Question 8 is, and I didn't prepare the answers to this question, so literally I'm looking at my phone and scrolling. So this is going to be impromptu. This is going to be basically whatever answers I come up with, okay? So number 8, do you refer to yourself as a witch? If not, why or why not? If so, what does the word mean to you? Okay, so to me, a witch is someone who practices witchcraft. It's someone who practices the craft. That's it. A lot of people tie witchcraft to Wicca, which I don't. Wicca is a religion, and some witches are Wiccan and some witches aren't Wiccan and that whole thing. But and there's nothing against Wicca, but a lot of times I tend to find, like now, if people think about witchcraft, they always associate everything with Wicca. There's so many different cultures around the world that practice some form of witchcraft and things like that. I used to refer myself a lot as a witch, but I'm starting to kind of shift the wording Because, to me, was anybody who practices witchcraft. But as I really started to get into my spiritual based business and more into my cultural practices and things like that, I started to kind of shift from that word, only because when a lot of people think of witchcraft, a lot of people automatically think Wicca or paganism and things like that. And I made a video about that. Like, I'm not pagan. So, because of that reason, I tend to just really feel like, because I've practiced African American folk magic traditions, so hoodoo and conjure, Santeria, Afro-Caribbean spirituality, and Haitian voodoo, I feel like if I could use one word, I would call myself a root worker, because I literally work with the roots, and things like that. So if I used one word, I would consider myself a root worker. That kind of more defines, I feel that I can stand out when I say that, because if you say witch, a lot of people think a lot of different things. But if I narrow it down to one word, like root worker, people are gonna know, oh, okay, she does, Afro-Caribbean, African American folk magic, hoodoo and conjure and all those things like that. So root worker, or voodoo sant, someone who practices voodoo. So those two terms I'm more comfortable with these days. I also, another word that I would be more comfortable before I would label myself as a witch too, would be a shaman. Because, there's a lot of shamanic and shamanism in voodoo, because, interceding on the spirit's behalf and things like that. And I also have Arawak and Dino lineage, you know what I mean? So I do have cultural practices. I am initiated into shamanism from my Native American side. So, that's why I call myself shamanic Arawak priestess. So yes, shaman will be more comfortable for me. A voodoo sant, you know what I mean? But if I only could use one word, it will actually be root worker. That's how I identify myself. Someone who works the root. Okay, so yeah, so I think I kind of answered that one. Okay, number 9. How do you use witchcraft in your day-to-day life? So, how I practice magical practices, spiritual practices in my everyday life. When I take a bath, when I take a shower, I use on a daily basis Florida water soap. So I use I do my regular soap, regular wash up, regular soap. And then I use my Florida water for that spiritual cleansing. I use a lot of spiritual cologne as scents. So I always have scents depending what intention I'm setting. My nail color is always something to do with some type of magical thing that I'm doing. My spiritual jewelry, like I wear a lot of protection on myself. Other things that I do, prayer. I pray almost every day. So 6 days a week, I'm in my spirit room praying, whether it's for clients or for myself. So I'm in, and I do rituals and things like that with the spirits. From the tea that I drink that has intentions in it, from the food that I cook for my family, from the workings that I do for myself and clients, from doing readings 6 days a week, answering emails 6 days a week, scheduling appointments, doing shamanic healings on clients, things like that, giving classes, mentoring others, getting others into their spiritual path. So spirituality is a big part of my life. I have a personal relationship with the spirits, and I also have a spiritually based business. So literally is in everything that I do. It's from when I anoint my kids, to doing spiritual cleansing on my children, to spiritually cleansing my home, to putting spiritual music in my home, and teaching my children the cultural practices and the spiritual practices that I have. So literally my spirituality is in everything. It literally is a part of who I am. It's a part of myself. Like, I can't see myself not doing something spiritual, if that makes sense. It's in the books that books that I read. It's in the writings that I do, the classes that I write, the videos that I record. Like, it's just a part of everything. So I am always constantly doing some type of spiritual activity in my daily life. Okay, so that's number 9. Number 10, do you follow any set rules in your personal practice, such as harm none? That is Wiccan, and I am not Wiccan. So I don't believe in harming none. In voodoo, in voodoo and hoodoo and things like that, you reap what you sow. So if somebody does something to me, I'll do it back to you. So I am not afraid to bind, to do a sandback spell on behalf of myself or clients. And in extreme circumstances, when there's no other option, I am not closed off to cursing somebody. And things like that. But at the same token, I am a healer, so I'm okay with removing curses from other people, and I'm okay with helping other people that have had themselves crossed and stuff by other people, and things like that. So there is I work in balance. I walk in the middle. But no, I don't believe in harm none. So that's not my thing. That's the reason why when I was studying Wicca, and I did practice for a little while, it just was something that I could not connect to. I couldn't connect with the deities, and I couldn't connect with so many rules and things, because that's just something culturally. I grew up with people doing whatever they had to do. Like, I'll do whatever I have to do to get my clients what they want. So I can't do harm none. Like, I'm not into like those terms, white magic and black magic. I did a video about that, so those terms even bother me. So yeah, I'm not into harm none. Completely do not believe in that. Like, that doesn't even cross my mind, because I don't believe in karma either. Like, a lot of people talk about karma all the time. I don't believe in karma. I feel like karma annoys me, that word, not because of the word itself. It comes from a Hinduism religion. It annoys me because a lot of people use the term and they don't even know what it means, right? And it's so overused. It's just like the term black magic annoys me too, because that term is so misused. And it kind of became derogatory. And karma is just like a fear-based thing that's so misconstrued, and it's completely taken out of context and whitewashed, and just is used to like ingrain fear in other people, and it's just really annoying. So that's not what karma is about. So that's why I don't even like listening to that term. It just, like, no. Not because of Hinduism. I love Hinduism, not that. The way that in the Western society we use the word karma annoys me, because it's nothing to do with what the real word of the meaning, what the real meaning of the word is. So yeah, a lot of words, they start being used and then they start losing their like, they start losing what they actually supposed to mean. You know what I mean? So anyways, that's another video for another day. So no, I don't believe in any of those principles and sevenfold law and all that. I don't believe in that stuff. Do you believe in the concept of the threefold law of return? No, I do not. I just said that too. Absolutely, positively not believe in that whatsoever. My spirits don't believe. This is why I like practicing my cultural practices, because I don't have to prescribe to any of that stuff. We work the left, the right. We do whatever we want magically, and things like that. Yes, I do divination when I perform any type of spiritual work. One, to see if it's going to be a successful ritual and workings. Even when I'm not just when I'm doing work for clients, even when I'm doing work for myself, I want to know if I'm going to get the results that I want. And I want to know what the consequences of it. So what is going to be the effect of me doing that? However, that has nothing to do with the threefold law or any of the other stuff. I just completely don't believe in it. So I'll leave it at that. Okay. Do you have a separate witchy name? I don't use my name on this channel. It's not a witchy name, but I have a spiritual name, and it's Shamanic Arawak Priestess. And that's why my website's the same name and my channel's named that. I had a different spiritual name when I worked on the psychic hotline, which I will not share here, but yeah, the spirits literally gave me that name. So Shamanic, because I come from various shamanic practices and lineages, right? Arawak, because that's my Native American tribe. Arawak is Taino. So the Tainos, so Arawak. And priestess, because I am initiated to more than one Afro-Caribbean religious practice. So literally that name describes me, a shamanic Arawak priestess. So that's my spiritual name. That's also my spiritually based business name as well. Okay. Okay, I lose my train of thoughts. Okay. All right. Do you write your own spells? No. I'm gonna be honest, even the word spell kind of, I use it because most people use that term, But I find that using that term is a double-edged sword, because when we start using the word spell, it starts to sound magical, and people start to have unrealistic, um, trying to think of the word, expectations for what a spell can do. And that's why I use the word, if I'm going to use the word spell, I'll say spell work. A lot of people like spell work. And I say, yes, spell work. Because in my country, in my cultures, we'll say trabajos or workings. In Creole, there's a word, the word that they use for magic is actually translated to workings. A trabajo, like a working. Because that's how we do it. We believe that in order for you to manifest what you want, you have to do work in the real world. Not just doing a spell, throwing some herbs on a candle, saying a couple of cute little things, and walking away. You have to be willing to do your part. So if you're doing a spell to get a job, you have to go apply for jobs. If you're doing a spell to relocate somewhere, you have to actually go and apply for places. If you're doing a spell to bring a next lover back, you actually have to be doing things in your real life to get that person back, which could possibly mean leaving them alone, working on yourself so when they come back you are in a better place mentally, emotionally, physically, because you can't, there's a reason why you guys broke up, so you have to work on those issues on your part, and they have to have the time to work on the issues on their part. So you know what I mean? So magic, spell work is realistic. A lot of people think that you do a spell and a person turns into a zombie. Yes, I will do your bidding now. Like, no. So it's like, you know what I mean? Or I'm going to do a spell and now I lost 10,000 pounds. No. You know what I mean? Or whatever. So a lot of people have really unrealistic thoughts because of the terms that people use, like spell work and like spells and all that kind of stuff. So that's why I like using the word spell work. I know that it's more popular to say spells, but it's like magic with a K. I guess I'm very old school. Like, that's not how I was taught. I'm 41 years old. I'm the way I am. So I'm very practical when it comes to my spiritual practice. So, I just don't prescribe to the magic with a K. I don't really like using the term spell. I like to say spell work or workings or rituals, and things like that, or ceremony. You know what I mean? But it is going to manipulate things for you to get what you want, but you have to, again, be willing to do your part. So this is why the term spell, I've always had kind of an issue with it. I've used it because it's what people use, and I'm in a spiritual based business. And if I use spell, people think, oh, she's going to do a spell, she's going to light a candle or something. So I have to, when I use just working, people are like, what does that mean? So a good compromise is I use the word spell work. So that way they know I'm going to do a spell, but you got to do some work in it. Okay. So I'm more comfortable with spell work or the word working. Okay. Alrighty then. That was like a long thing about spell work. So no, I don't rhyme. I don't do any of that stuff. I feel like that's also more Wiccan based or pagan based. I know people do a lot of rhyme and stuff. We don't do that in my culture. Like, we do a lot of Catholic prayers, so Christian prayers, and things like that. And I also just talk from the heart, and things of that nature. So I do more prayer and petitioning. I don't write rhymes. I don't pre-write spells. That's not how I do my workings. My workings are more like I'm doing certain, in some cases, symbols. So veves, offerings, music, dancing, prayers, incense, things like that. But it's not spells and saying things. In some of my workings or rituals, I even like the word rituals better. Sometimes the spirit will take over and do the work itself. So, there's a lot of things that go into that. Like, literally in my culture, the spirits are the ones that are working with you. So they materialize. They come and they're conjured. They come into the ritual, into the trabajo, into the working. You can literally feel the energy of the spirits when you're working with them in a ritual. Like, it's very intense. So to us, like, it's not really spells that we do in voodoo. Like, we do a whole ceremony. It's a whole thing. It's a whole ritual. Now, spell work, that is, look, we do that like when I do conjure and things for clients, but sometimes they get a whole ritual that they're paying me for. Like, when I do spell work, it's like a big thing. And I'm doing these things on the behalf of clients for a week, 2, 3, 4, depending how difficult the working is. So it's a nonstop thing that I do every single night at a certain time. That so it's not just like I light a candle and then I'm done. Like my work is very elaborate, very intense, very time consuming, very energetically consuming. Like there's a certain protocol with the practices that I have. So and that's why I don't like sharing that and stuff, because there's a certain way that we work the root. And it's not really like lighting candles and staying stuff. It's so much that goes into that. It's very complex and stuff. Anyways, but yeah, I think I made sense. Hopefully I made sense. But anyways, we're gonna move on to 14. Do you believe in fantasy creatures such as dragons, fairies, and unicorns? So I don't consider dragons, fairies, and unicorns fantasy. Just like I don't consider mermaids fantasy. So in Haiti, we actually have a spirit that people get possessed with that lives in the ocean. Because again, our practices are very indigenous. So we believe that nature houses the spirits. Yes, we do statues and things because we're not in Haiti right now. So then the statue housed the spirit. Yeah, that's true. But you can also find these same spirits in nature. So we have spirits that live in the cemetery, spirits that live in water, spirits that live in fire, spirits that live, in air, so on and so forth. So we have a spirit called La Serene. La Serene, she's not Yemaya, she's La Serene. It's a completely different spirit. And that's why in Haiti, a lot of people don't like to dip their head in the ocean because they say La Serene will take you. You know what I mean? So we do serve a spirit, La Serene, and her husband, Agwe. So to us, mermaids are real. In Afro-Caribbean cultures of other islands, for instance, Puerto Rico, Santo Domingo, things like that, we serve Yemaya. And Yemaya also lives in the oceans. And she's a mermaid and she's real. Like, you know what I mean? And I believe in, if I'm not mistaken, if somebody practices candomblé, they could correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe they also have a Yemaya, but it's like pronounced different, of course, it's Portuguese. But like a similar spirit, if not the same exact spirit of that she lives in the ocean too. But anyways, but that again, I'm not Brazilian, so I wouldn't know exactly 100%. But I've heard from people that practice candomblé, they do have a water spirits too. But anyway, so yes, Yemaya and her former lover, Inle, he's a merman. So again, to us, mermaids, we work with that energy intensively. Is why one of my biggest pet peeves is when I see mermaid decks that don't have any black people in them. Because I'm like, literally, in these cultural practices, like mermaids are a big thing for us too. So it's why I like the mermaid tarot, because they have Yemaya as one of the mermaids. Because again, like we do serve mermaid spirits. We also serve other spirits. Like one of them is a bull, and he's a loa that removes obstacles. Masaka. So you will often see like a bull's horn in his peristyle. So we do serve spirits that are found in animals too, or what y'all will call fantasy spirits, like mermaids. Like that's actually really important. And there's even some spirits that are like half human, half not, like animal or something like that. So there's just various different types of spirits that we serve. In Santeria, there's 400 plus, because it doesn't end. People they start getting added. Like you can have new new orishas all the time. And in loas is 100. It's 100 and like it just infinity, because there's new loas coming in all the time too. So the point of the story is, I don't consider those fantasy. I do work with mermaid energy in my cultural practices. That's all I wanted to say. And volcano energy and earth energy and just a bunch of stuff. So, yeah. All right. So, yeah. So, those, I don't consider them fantasy. So. And I think that's it. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do number 15, I think. Yeah, I'm going to do number 15. So number 15 would be, are you solitary or part of a coven? What do you think are the pros and cons of each? I am someone who does both. So I'm not in a coven because, again, that's more of a pagan term. In voodoo, we're part of a society, sociedad, a voodoo house. In Santeria, same thing. And so in Afro-Caribbean cultures, we don't really call them covens, it's called something else. But it's the same idea. It's like there's a leader, and then you have the members and things like that. So for us, the mambo, or in Santeria, the babalao, santera, things like that. So, yes, I am part of a sociedad. My sociedad has more than one mambo in it. It's a family practice, okay? And mine is in New York City. So when I do big things, I go to New York. And then, or they'll come here to Pennsylvania. So we travel for each other because we're a couple of hours away. But I also do a lot of things on my own or with my children, with my two older children. And there's been times even with my daughter's partner has been part of our things like that. And I've had some of the clients that watch me on YouTube, they've met me in real life. They've been a part of my rituals too. You guys know who you are. They've actually met me live and been part of my stuff because I've done rituals for them and stuff in person. So the point to the story is I do a lot of it within my group and by myself and with my mother, because my mother is semi-retired, but I do a lot of things with her too. She just mostly does it for her kids and her grandkids. She doesn't take on clients anymore. That's not her thing. She's older now, but I still do rituals and fetes and things with my mom too, and things like that. So again, voodoo and Santeria are community spirituality. So community in these cultural close traditions are of the utmost importance because there's a certain protocol for certain rituals. Is why when I do rituals for clients, I'll tell them, hey, I'm gonna do a ritual for X amount of weeks because I'll do some of it by myself, and then I also get together with my with other mambos and stuff, and then we do bigger things. You know what I mean? There's certain things that we do within a group, and then I do by myself, if that makes sense. So yeah, because yeah. And things like that. There's certain rituals we do in the cemetery at night, in the dark, with a group of people. Because we do a lot of rituals in the cemetery too. And in nature and all that kind of stuff. We do that all in a group, in our homes, all kinds of stuff. So yeah. So I can't really say what's the pros and cons to that because I've had nothing but a positive experience with my voodoo house. Now, in the past, when I was part of other Afro-Caribbean practices when my mom wasn't really practicing, she came kind of like I said, came out of retirement to help me out and stuff like that. I love her so much. But when I had other teachers, sometimes you get false teachers, right? And I had bad experiences with that, but that wasn't because of the being a group. That was because the guy the guy that was leading the group was a false teacher, and my spirits told me so. A lot of people started leaving, so there was a lot of like scamming and stuff going on. But I still am blessed for that experience because again, it made me who I am as a practitioner, and it made me have a high sense of ethics and what I don't like. And so I don't do what he does because I saw the ugliness of what he does. You know what I mean? Like, just I learned what not to do under that person's guise. So, and I'm glad I got out of it because he was like more of a culty person. It was kind of ugh. So that would be maybe a con if you don't research the group you're going into. There are some really cultish weirdos out there. So, a lot of false teachers, a lot of scammers, a lot of people that are going to try to rob you for money. So just be careful. I'm very blessed that I have my own voodoo house. And like I told my students, we're going to be doing something after these classes. I'm going to talk to them privately about it, but there's more to come for my students. Okay, we got some things we're gonna be doing. But yeah, so basically that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, please subscribe, please comment below. And again, happy Mother's Day to all the caretakers out there. I love you so much, guys. I've had a wonderful day. I feel so nice and rested today. I'm ready to do those readings, continue the rituals next week for my clients, and just gusto. So more to come from me, guys. Love you guys. Bye.